Guitar tips, just the tips, just for you. Guitar tips. Hello and welcome to Guitar Tips. My name is Adam Levy. This is my weekly video blog series. I post a new tip here each and every Friday. Just the tips, just for you, like it says on this guitar pick. Well, it doesn't say all of that, but it does say guitar tips. Just like it says on this t-shirt. Guitar tips. Smells like guitar tips. If you're interested in picks and or tips, picks or tees, t-shirts, send me an email, guitartips@adamlevy.com, and we'll get a conversation going. Likewise, if you're interested in lessons, Skype lessons, or if you happen to live in Los Angeles, if you want to come over and hang out and take a guitar lesson, that's very cool. Anything you want to talk about, you can email me. Commerce or otherwise, you can email me at guitartips@adamlevy.com. Okay, this week's guitar tip is let's demystify melodic minor. Let's demystify the melodic minor scale. Let's oh boy, I'm still a little bit jet lagged from my Italy trip. I hope you will humor me here. Let's demystify the melodic minor scale. So let's. Well, first let's talk about what it is. What the melodic minor scale is, just like a major scale, but with a flatted third. So, for example, here's a 1 octave fingering for G major. That's G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So if we flat the third, we are now playing G melodic minor. And you could do that anywhere on the neck that you know how to play a major scale. Could be, different people have different orientations on the guitar. A lot of people like the caged system where there's 5 primary areas. Other people like to play 3 notes per string, or 2 notes per string, or 4 notes per string, or whatever. Whatever your natural way of exploring scales is, you can stay in that. You can stay in that. But you'll want to practice this weekend, and I really do want you to practice this week, because otherwise the next 6 tips won't make all that much sense. I'm doing a 7-part series. Did I say that? I can't remember. Oh boy. This is Let's Demystify the Melodic Minor Scale, Part 1. This is the first time I've done a whole 7-part series. I'm going to spend each week for starting now and for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to look at one mode at a time from the melodic minor scale. The scale has 7 notes. Of course, there's 7 modes. That's 7 tips just for you. So we're going to start this week with the first mode of the melodic minor. And before we get into any more mechanical stuff, I talked about what it is. And now maybe the question is why? Why are we going to do this? Why are we going to study melodic minor modes? Well, for one simple reason, because I've been asked to. People asked me to do this. Guitar Tips subscribers have been writing in and saying, hey, could you please do something on the melodic minor scale? So that's one reason. popular demand. And the other reason is that I like it and I use it, and it's a beautiful sound that you can use in jazz and just about any of the jazz hyphenates: jazz rock, jazz blues, jazz what have you. It's a beautiful sound. So that's why, because it's beautiful and useful. So that scale relates to minor major 7 chords, in this case G minor major 7. I'm playing G, B flat, D, F sharp. It also relates to minor 6th chords. So those would sound like this in G. You could also use it in jazz when there's no 6 or major 7 indicated. If you just have a plain old G minor chord, you can still use that scale. When I wouldn't suggest you use it is when you have a G minor 7, because the scale has has F sharp in it, and G minor 7 would have F natural. If you do it quickly in passing, if you don't lean on the F sharp, but you just kind of use it to slide into G, you might be able to get away with it over G minor 7. But it's a much more specialized sound on G minor 6 or on G minor major 7. So that's the place for it. So you'll want to think about tunes that you like to play that have that kind of sound in it. If you don't happen to know any jazz songs that have minor 6th or minor major 7 chords in them, I would just start flipping through the real book if you have a real book. And if you don't have a real book, I don't know, just about any jazz tune that is based around a minor key center, you will have some usage for this. Now, however you like to practice scales, you can practice this up and down the neck. You could practice it one string at a time, as I like to do. You could practice it in a position. You could practice it in pairs of notes and move up the neck. You could do 3 notes. Okay, you could do 4 notes. Let's see how we would do this. I'm just moving, each note on each string goes up one next higher note in the G melodic minor scale as I move up the neck. Another interesting way that you might like to practice it is to take G major pentatonic, which is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and make that minor. 1, 2, flat, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, flat, 3, 5, 6. It's kind of a neat sound. And then, of course, there's scale patterns. Things like that, and so on. But do everything you can this week to get this scale under your fingers in G minor and as many other keys as you can. That will help set you up for the rest of this series. Now, I wanted to show you one other sort of thing which will be useful as we go on, which is just some kind of areas. I don't want to say licks exactly, because I tend to play them a little differently every time, but it's kind of a couple of idiomatically melodic minor things that I do play. And if you have a couple of those, it helps you get into what this scale is supposed to sound like, as opposed to just going alphabetically up and down and trying to figure out where the cool stuff is. I'm going to show you some cool stuff. So it's all going to be based around triad shapes. That's a G minor triad, and we're still in G melodic minor. So you could do something like this. So I'm going A, B flat, D, F sharp, A. And so I'm thinking of that as 2, 3, 5, major 7, 9. And you could come down the same way. And coming down, people sometimes play. This is kind of the same lick a little higher up, so I'm starting on G. Same idea, a little different, but same idea. And you can go all the way up to C if you like. Same thing off of this G minor triad. And there's a G minor triad here. It's kind of a lick you hear. It's got some chromaticism in it. So it's not strictly melodic minor, but it's related to the same idea. In each of these, it's pretty common to have the F sharp going up to G, and or the A going up to B flat. So we saw that here. Saw that here. A to B flat. F sharp to G. There's also this nice diagonal line here off of, that's G minor, right at 10th fret. You can get this thing. Nice for sweep picking. I don't do a lot of sweep picking, but works here. Again. So think about these G minor triad areas and how you can center some of these kind of typical ideas around them. And we will use these same physical shapes as we move through the modes. We'll just be applying them a little bit differently. So seek out some minor tunes in the real book, or just you could do a Google search for jazz songs in minor keys, and I'm sure you'll come up with quite a few. Or you could write a piece on your own. And don't just stay in G minor this week. Explore, 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 transpose, transpose, transpose. Other keys are good to know besides this one. But I just picked this one because, I don't know, it's there. Get to know some voicings. G minor major 7. In the same way that I showed you, you could just take a G major scale and flat the third. So here's the third, and you flat it, and that gives you G melodic minor scale. Same is true of G minor major 7 voicings. If you don't know them, that's fine. Take the G minor 7 voicings, you know, and just move the F to F sharp, and you get G minor major 7. So that's a voicing you probably know. You might know this voicing. Just move the F to F sharp. That's one. You might know this G minor 7. You just move the F to F sharp. This is a G minor 7. You move the F to F sharp. This is G minor 7. You move the F to F sharp. Here. Now, this sound may not appeal to you right away, but stick with it. It is an acquired taste, but once you get used to it and start to recognize it in recordings of jazz that you like, I think you will be happy to have some access to it. Same thing with minor 6. Minor 6 is just taking a G minor 7, and instead of putting F up to F sharp, we're going to go F down to E. So we can take this G minor 7 and convert it to G minor 6 by playing this E. There's a G minor 7 voicing, G minor 6, G minor 7, G minor 6, G minor 7, G minor 6. And so on. So G melodic minor relates to G minor 6th, G minor major 7. If you're lucky, you can play both sometimes, 6 and major 7. And get to know it, get to know those licks a little bit, and we'll continue this next week. Thanks, as always, to Martin Guitar Strings for making awesome strings and for being a supporter of Guitar Tips. I happen to like the Retro Series Martin strings. They're nickel wound, as you can see. They're not all bronzy looking. They're nickel looking, and I have them on all of my steel string guitars, and I really do dig the sound and the feel. Until next week and beyond, my name is Adam Levy. This is Guitar Tips. Stay tuned and take good care.